and west. A lot of threats out there. Two-legged. You got the four-legged. Juniper. The land where the leather separates the little girls from the men. Well, howdy everybody, welcome to the show today. Today we're talking about leather.
Just full send with a howdy right out the gate, huh?
I don't understand why that would be an issue. Guys, today we're talking about a question that popped up, and that is there a place in 2022 for leather holsters? I believe there is, and he really does not believe that there is. He's kind of a hater on this whole video. He doesn't even want to be in this video.
That's not true. I just enjoy being here with you.
Yeah.
I got to tell my wife the same thing. So.
But he's here. He is here regardless, and I'm going to try to convince Chris that there is a place for leather holsters, because I want you to be honest with me, the two men behind the camera, and everyone watching at home. Who am I right now?
I mean, we had a little bit of a discussion about this.
Tell them who I am.
Jake Gyllenhaal in Brokeback Mountain.
Nope.
Oh, the name fits.
I am
Heath Ledger.
what's his, No Country for Old Men. I'm Josh Brolin from No Country for Old Men.
Oh, I thought you were the clerk that almost dies with the coin flip.
No, that guy was cool though, and he did not deserve whatever. We don't even know if he got wasted in that. By the way,
I think it's implied that he didn't.
I think it's 50-50, but I'm not that guy. I'm Josh Brolin, everyone.
Okay.
Okay. And today we're going to be talking about leather holsters, and I'll kind of tell you how this whole thing came up real quick, just to keep the lights on here. If you guys need real estate help buying ranches, everyone, if you're going to buy a ranch, call us and we'll help you out. No matter what part of the country you're in. You got horses, cows, you need a ranch, we got you covered.
Same with you guys need ammo, U.S. Brass House. Our two codes, 1911, enter. Syndicate, enter. We'll save you $40 off your order.
That's correct. Now, would a cowboy flinch like that when something hits his face?
A cowboy would not.
I believe he would.
He'd stay on his horse just like I've been through worse.
I'd have shot him out of the sky, but it would have been right into my own face. That would not have been smart. So here's how this video came about, everyone. We were making our video that by this time would be out on dual-wield pistol shooting.
Yeah.
Right? And I only have one of those two pistols on me today, but it's the Cabot Vintage Classic. And I got two of these bad boys. I got the inversion one, which is the full lefty, and then I got this, which is the righty, which I typically use as, you know, one of my guns. And so we had the notion to do a video on dual-wield pistol shooting. How feasible is it? Turns out not very. not super feasible, everybody. But what happened was I needed a holster for that video. And so through mutual friends, actually, we got in touch with a company called Craft Holsters, and they don't just make leather, but primarily I'd say their thing is leather holsters. And said, look, guys, I don't know if you could do this or not, but I know you have a custom shop. Is it feasible to make a righty-lefty dual-wield, small-to-the-back holster, face-off style?
Yeah.
Which is why this says R.I.P. Castor Troy on it.
Give me that pistol.
And that thing fits, let me tell you, very, very well. It is perfectly fit. And I can't remember exactly where Craft is. I know it's somewhere over in Europe. So point being, they didn't have access to the pistols, but they made that holster and it came in and I was like, damn man, this thing's really cool. It's super obnoxious. Don't get me wrong, I'm clear everyone. It's an obnoxious piece, but it's really damn cool and it's actually really, really nicely made. So we were talking to Craft and we're like, you know, they kind of brought up the idea like, hey, you want to do any videos? And said, oh, what about a concept? I can't really review a leather holster. I don't really even hardly know how to do that. But
yeah.
What about a concept on, is there still a place for leather? And that's kind of what this bad boy is on, to give these guys their moment here on the channel, just so you know. So they do have a custom shop. And they will do, I'm gonna say, stuff like this. not specifically a dual pistol, small of the back leather rig. This is a little elaborate, but they do a lot of custom stuff like this where they do different engravings and all kinds of Texas stars and stuff like that.
Stuff that should go on leather holsters.
Exactly, right? And they start at like $300, but it's like the custom shop guy who, by the way, I would highly recommend go to their website, go to the custom shop because they have a photo of the guy that makes your stuff, and it's the best photo I've ever seen in my entire life.
How come?
It's black and white, and it's definitely should be a dating profile picture. Now my phone's gonna go off 10 times.
He just looks like a stud or what?
It's just great.
Yeah?
I love it. It's just fantastic.
Cool.
So he makes all this kind of stuff, and but anyway, they've got stuff, paddle rigs and mag pouches and all that kind of stuff. So you can show. They were nice because we were going to do a giveaway. They're going to do a giveaway for you guys. So basically, just to keep this simple, we're going to do this. Anyone that leaves a comment, we'll run it for like the next week. So hey, for the next week, drop a comment down there. They'll jump in there. They'll pick a winner based on some random criteria, and they'll get in touch with you, and you can pick out a little holster setup. So
you said
cool.
winder right there. Just a heads up, people will catch that.
Well, they can be a winner or a winder.
So if I comment and they choose me, do I get a holster?
You will get it. You will return it to me, and I will give it to a proper viewer.
Okay. Damn it.
That, and they've got a 5% off code for you guys, which is just 1911 Syndicate, but the S is capitalized, so no spaces but capital on the S in the Syndicate. So let me tell you, to try to bring you into what I feel is still a relevant place for this type of gear.
Okay.
Here's the first time I ever thought, man, that's really cool. On leather holsters.
Okay.
So I'm up in like Wyoming, Montana, right? This is where I used to do a lot of dog training.
Well, right out the gate, you fucking win just being in those two states.
Right? I'm in, I believe it was Montana, the first time that I really connected with it, right? Up, like way up in Montana. And I'm working dogs, right? I'm not gonna get into a whole dog thing here, but I was working dog handler stuff up there, yada, yada, yada. And the guy, and this is in bear country, right? And I had to sleep like outside in bear country, in like grizzly country.
Yeah,
which
I know exactly where you were.
A little nerve wracking,
Yeah.
right? And so I'm sleeping with an AK jammed right next to me. But but the guy that I'm up there working with, he, him being kind of a classy dude, he had a 2011, right? A double stacked 1911 chambered in 10 mil. That was his bear country gun.
Should we call those 3011s or 1011s?
Yeah, sure, I'm cool with that.
I'm gonna market that 1011s.
There you go, right? And he, because being in bear country, had this like, high capacity 10 mil, right? And this perfectly worn leather holster. And it was really cool. And it felt very appropriate. It's probably the first time I've ever looked and been like, that's cool and it's classy.
I think the operant word there is worn in.
Yes. Right? And that's part of it, right? And so I'm going to bring you into an analogy that I thought of as I was kind of working on the concept for how to do this video. I'm going to take you to a movie called Meet the Parents, which is going to be a surprising reference for this.
Yeah, you totally lost me on that one.
Okay, so here's where I'm going with
Fokker.
it. So you remember the first one fairly well?
Yeah, real well.
So Ben Stiller, De Niro, it's the first time they hang out together and they're in the car ride. And he goes, what's his name in the movie? What's Ben Stiller's character name?
I don't know it that well.
Blanking out on his name.
Fokker, dude.
And he goes, yeah, I guess it is Fokker, but he's like, why don't you like cats? He goes, I don't not like cats. I'm just more of a, you doing okay there?
Yeah, I killed a giant mosquito for
Let
you.
me know if you kill it. I'll take out my kukri here and hammer that dude. But so he's like, why don't you like cats? And he goes, I don't not like cats. I'm just more of a dog person. He goes, oh, you need that reassurance, huh? You prefer the assurance of an emotionally shallow animal. And he goes, you see, cats make you earn it. Okay.
I see where you're going now.
And leather is much like cats versus dogs, right? A dog just comes up and they just want attention and they're just easy going out the gates. Cat makes you earn it. Leather makes you earn it, everybody. Okay? And that's the difference between Kydex and leather. Kydex just gives in right away. It's like, here, it fits. There's no effort involved. And much of the time, that is exactly what we want. It's just something that is made to just work perfect out of the gates. But occasionally, you kind of want that classy thing where you're just like, yeah, let me like have to put some effort into this. It's like loving a woman that doesn't want to love you right away. And it's like you have to put in some effort. You have to romance her into loving you, right? I don't know if you know what that's like, but...
Are you married?
I'm not. That's why I've been through that process multiple times. Have to win women over. So let's talk about who leather holsters are for. just going to throw out some references for you.
I'm here.
Number 1, Texas Ranger.
Well, it's a slam dunk, isn't it?
If the argument is there's still a place for leather holsters.
Are you a Texas Ranger?
I
Today.
don't live in Texas. I'm a Utah Ranger. Now, look, if you're in Texas, you're speeding, right? You specifically are speeding, and you get pulled over by a Texas Ranger, and he doesn't walk up to the vehicle in a hat with a leather holster on.
I think they have white long sleeve shirts, their badge, jeans, and boots. If he doesn't come like that, I will send him back.
I send him
Get
back.
back in your patrol vehicle and change.
Exactly.
Yeah. Arrest me properly, okay?
Exactly.
Yeah. I will give you that.
Damn yahoos.
What's going on, officer?
Son, look at the badge. It's a Texas Ranger badge.
What can I do you for?
How's your day going today?
Good. Just heading home.
Why don't you ask me how mine's going?
How's your day going?
I had to hit a little kid's kitty cat in order to catch up to you, son.
Shouldn't speed, sir.
Let me ask you about that speed limit, actually. How fast do you think it is?
I haven't seen a sign for a minute, so I figured it was optional.
You was texting, though, weren't you?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you was texting.
Yeah.
Because what I can tell you here in this part of Texas right here, the speed limit ain't no goddamn 125 miles an hour.
Is that how fast I was going?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So this path...
I had cruise set at like 115, so...
Okay, so we're going to start making some jokes. Start making some jokes today. Make some jokes to the boys in the pen when you're in the shower and you got a little extra something that's in you. Make them jokes. The path that you're going down, where was you going to?
Amarillo, sir. That's where home is.
You was going down a path to nowhere in life.
I think
Because the path that goes 125 miles an hour to Amarillo is a path straight to hell to the penitentiary. And you know what happens there? Because we already talked about that one. That's how that one goes. Because you big. And you know what those boys is? Bigger. They're bigger than you. And they're going to make an example out of you. And it's going to... I've seen things.
Personal experience?
I've seen things. Son, this is Texas and we don't do that shit here. I'm not going to arrest you.
Thank you, sir.
But if I pull you over again, I'm going to slap you around. I'm going to unleash the dog in you. I got the dog in the back of the truck. He's back there. He's back there.
They don't give you a gun now, or?
I got a gun.
Oh.
I got a gun. If you don't want your little truck and your little big fat beard to get messed up, don't come back to my county. Have a nice day, sir. Have a nice day, sir!
You too, sir. Something crawled up his asshole this morning.
When you have to carry a gun to a classy event, okay? That would be, for example,
I need some examples.
I'll throw you 2 examples. A Texas barbecue.
Again, Texas.
Yeah. Anything that happens in Texas, actually.
A leather holster.
I endorse leather.
They don't
for
even
it.
sell Kydex in Texas.
No. Like it's leather or bust in the state of Texas, everyone. Okay, so if you're going to a Texas barbecue, right, there's a thing, I don't know if you're aware of, called a barbecue gun. Is this foreign concept to you?
Is that real?
Yes, it's 100%
Like it's
real.
a gun you wear to a barbecue? This sounds like some cartel shit, I'm going to be honest.
Well, they're very kind of
actually-
cartel-ish guns.
That's another
So, like, if I
example.
was going to my barbecue gun, right, I have 2, although I don't have one anymore. One would have been my Golden Nighthawk.
Yeah.
That's called a barbecue gun, okay?
It's Liberace's.
Now, if I go to a Texas barbecue, this will be on, and there's 2 matching 1911s in it. That's why I go to a Texas barbecue. That's a barbecue gun.
Okay.
Right? So, and a barbecue gun needs to be in a leather holster. Like, that's just kind of how the damn thing works, you know? So, I'll give you one more example. A gala. If I go to a gala, right, that permits the carrying of firearms at it, which is albeit slightly unlikely, but if I go to, like, the Met Gala, for example, which is prominently featured in the Johnny Depp trial that I'm obsessed on right now. So if you go to the Met Gala, for example, one, it's in New York, so it wouldn't be strictly speaking legal, right? But that's what I would carry. Okay.
Question. James Bond, does he wear a leather holster to the galas that he goes to?
Here's the thing. I have what is considered like the appropriate holster for a Walther PPK, and it is suede, which is just a form of leather. It's a Cal product. Okay? I have the holster at home. We'll do a video on it.
Okay.
Yeah. So, right, so if you're getting classy, if you're in a suit, a tuxedo, right? You're going to the Met Gala, Texas barbecue, anything like that.
Okay.
Leather has its place.
What about Arizona, man? Like cowboys and shit?
So let's go ahead and just bring up what would be the movie where everyone should be in a leather holster, which is No Country for Old Men, right? Which is Arizona-based, I believe, from what I remember.
Is it?
Well, it's close enough.
I thought it was in Texas.
It might be Texas, actually.
You son of a bitch.
I think it's Texas.
It's along the Rio Grande, you idiot.
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah, well, there's cartel dudes, so I was thinking Arizona, but I guess they're also in Texas. So if you're in a cartel, would be another great, profession.
I do see a lot of leather holsters in Arizona.
To carry, so for Arizona, Texas, like Wild West-oriented places, highly recommended, okay?
Damn it.
Another, just backcountry environments. You go north now. Now we go up to Wyoming. We go up to Montana. We've got bears. We've got, as mentioned in the intro, we've got four-legged and two-legged threats. This is the kind of shit that I want, man. Okay, like this is how it goes.
I want like a chest Kenai holster, like
that's pretty cool too.
But that's Kydex.
Yeah, but they could make something like that in leather. They do have leather versions of that. Yeah. They do
that's
have leather.
I'm backcountry.
Versions of that. I'll throw you one more example, which is 1911 guys in general.
For why?
I don't want to. And what?
Is it to protect the finish?
No.
Okay.
No, because we enjoy classy things and we enjoy things that have history and soul to them.
Okay.
The 1911 is a gun of character, soul, history. Our most popular video, much to my surprise, given that we had to delete our actual most popular one, is a video called Why 1911s. It was literally just my sort of love song, my piece of poetry to 1911s that I thought 3 people would watch. And it's actually our most watched thing that many grown men comment that they've cried watching.
Hey, I agree. It's
actually a pretty powerful, not because of anything I said. All I'm actually doing in that video is reading the incredible words written by Rob Biancan from Cabot. And he talks about it's the gun of the American hero. And I mean, it really kind of gets you.
The piece of World War II? Oh, come on, son.
I mean, it gets you. So for 1911 guys,
okay,
there is a place for it. I know your argument would be because there's more contact points, you could actually do more harm to your finish. I've never found that to be true. I'm not denying it. I'm saying I don't know enough to know.
I was told that by a leather holster manufacturer, so.
Which could happen. I don't know.
So what about this? Kydex holster, leather lined.
I'm cool with that. I've got a knife sheath like that. That's actually pretty neat.
Because that was I had a 1911 back in the day.
No, the reverse. A leather holster that's lined with Kydex.
No, this was a Kydex holster lined with leather.
Oh, okay. So that's what my knife sheath is.
And it's still like clipped in.
Yeah.
But I was like, I want to protect the finish. In college, dirt poor, high-end 1911. And he's like, I'm sorry to break it to you, but this will actually, because there's more contact points, wear the finish more.
Yes.
Now, did I care back then? Yes. Do I care now? No. Shoot the shit out of your gun. So.
Yeah, like your guns are designed to get worn. Like they look cool as they get wear on them.
Much like the leather holster breaks in.
So does a gun.
So does a gun.
If properly used.
Okay.
I will tell you a couple of cons. I can at least argue to give it a fair shake, so people don't think I'm total in like FUD territory here. Probably not the best for like actual speed. Right? I would say, sure, this between this and like just a straight Kydex pancake holster, yeah, I'm going to be a little more efficient from the Kydex. It's not a massive difference, but sure, The other thing that you could have too is, of course, when I draw and then I've got to re-index, not a big deal, but you just got to keep in mind this will have a tendency to close ever so slightly, although it will probably continue to mold to stay kind of perfect.
Yeah.
But all you really got to do is just slight tip of the muzzle and then you're good to go.
Yeah.
Right? Some people there will be like, you just flagged yourself, but it's like, guys, pretty much anytime you got a gun on you, you're probably flagging yourself.
Yeah,
so
shocking, guys.
Relax, be safe and be smart. So you could also have the slightest, it would just be a potential con, just depends on the gun and the holster. Slight fitment issues where it's like, you'll notice on this one, there's the slightest of gaps in that trigger guard between the top of the holster and the trigger there. Now, there's nothing's getting in there. Nothing's getting in there.
Yeah, the argument is, though, that I've seen is because that's showing, if this starts to loosen a little bit over time with wear and tear, something could potentially get in there.
Sure. Now, that said, part of this, so like this is my vintage classic in this, and to be perfectly honest with you guys, I don't remember the model name of this craft holster. It's
How dare you?
It's a 5-inch, leather holster for 1911. Just hope that helps. But on some of your like kind of high-end 1911s and or other guns in general, they wind up having some kind of unique dimensions where if I give this gun to a Kydex guy, for example, he's going to have the same thing, which is going, oh man, this doesn't fit any standard molds. And so they have to custom make stuff for this. So when they made this, they custom made it. This is perfect. This is really good. There's a gap of 3 millimeters there that for me is really kind of non-issue. But like, hey, just know if you got different unique guns, like you might have to get the holsters just kind of mold and fit over time. So you might have to do with that. The only other con I could think of is that people might make fun of you because they're rude. And so that is also possible that some of your jerk friends like you might make snide remarks. And you know what makes it all good?
What's that?
Is the fact that a pretty young lady right now would see me in this Josh Brolin looking No Country for Old Men setup. And she'd be like, I'm going to take that cowboy home. And she'd take me home. And she'd do
unspeakable things.
Do unspeakable things. What she'd do.
I don't know if I'm going to give you that, but.
So it does help with the ladies. And that is a bona fide fact that is backed up by science, everyone. Final thoughts. I am not converting to being a leather holster guy. You will not see this in every video now.
You're just arguing there might be a time and place.
There is a time and a place for it. That is my only argument, which was the premise of the question, which is there a time and a place where you can still pull off leather? Yes, there is. Yes, there is. We had some horses pass by earlier that will probably be in our thumbnail photo because they gravitated towards me when they came over. They could barely keep the horses on the road. They started coming down the road. They saw me. And did you see the guy fighting the reins?
Yeah.
He was trying to steer the horse back.
A real cowboy.
Yeah, he was a tough guy. He looked tough. He looked like he beat both of our asses real easy.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah. So, look, guys, there's a time and a place for it. Open your mind to new concepts, that there is still a modern place for old school things. That is it.
I'll give you that a little bit. The last little, and I'm giving you a check in the pro box here. You ever see the show Justified?
I'm aware of it.
Yeah. I'm naming my first child after that guy. He runs a he's a damn U.S. Marshal, all right?
A U.S. Marshal, exactly.
Leather belt, leather holster, boots, cowboy hat, swagger.
You know who he sounds like? Because it's another endorsement for leather? Tommy Lee Jones, U.S. Marshals.
Another one. Yeah, he does carry, but he's got a Glock in that one.
Yeah,
remember,
which is lame.
He's to Robert Downey Jr., he's like, get rid of that chrome piece of shit.
Nickel-plated sissy pistol.
I can fill it full. Yeah. Huh. So then that opens up a whole thing. Can I carry a Glock in a leather holster, or does it have to be a 1911?
You can.
It just feels bad, doesn't it?
It feels dumb.
Even to me, it feels dumb.
It doesn't feel great.
Yeah.
Like 1911, like some revolvers could obviously do very well. Like, could you do a Glock or something like that? Sure. But
also, something you failed to mention, I'm just giving you some pros here. Heaven forbid you ever get in a self-defense situation with your leather holster. Yeah. On the stand, you could say, well, Judge, start talking shit. I cleared leather. Put him down.
I've always wanted to say it.
And the judge will probably be like, you know what? You're free. Free to go.
That's a free man right there.
Wow.
Yep.
So I just gave you 2 pros there.
Well, it's good stuff, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this unpredictable episode of the show today.
I will say they make quality stuff. The stitching, everything is quality.
Quality stuff. Now, our videographer with his phone going off because it's day one on set for him. That's a different thing.
It is quality, though, isn't it?
What? It's high quality stuff, guys. This is not meant to be some total shill pitch for you, but it was this was a very organic thing that came up, and we just kind of rolled it into doing one more video with them and just going, hey, look, Are you necessarily going to rock this stuff every day? Probably not. Is there still a time and a place for it? Yes. Do these guys make good stuff? Yes. I don't know if we can actually include a link to their site below. I'll try to.
Probably not.
If not, it's just craft holsters. But check it out, comment, right? Like I said, they're cool. They're doing a giveaway. They're giving you guys some discounts and stuff.
Fun video.
So, yeah.
You know, just a fun video. So thanks, Craft. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time.
In 10 seconds or less, answer me this. Would you rather spend 5 years in jail or 10 years in a coma?
10 years in a coma. You want to know why? I go to sleep and 10 years later, I'm out. 5 years in prison every day, all day for 5 years, I'm in prison.
Maximum security or minimum?
Ooh, damn it.
You get maximum, but Chris gets minimum.
Coma.
I think I'm still doing a coma. That was a good one, Crispy. Hey, that was a good one.
Better.
Because, you know, you just coma 10 years later,
That's true.
right? It's over.
There's also the fear that you are conscious during the coma.
It's called locked-in syndrome. You didn't mention that. You didn't mention that. If it's locked-in syndrome, I'm out.